let's circle back around to the fucking big thing. Fade to black, getting on the ship. Everybody's going to get their points in. Go ahead, start with Roy.
So I don't really mind that part, actually, the fade to black. And the reason I say that is I'm going to bring up an analogy to a different game. In Warframe, that does have a ship interior. It's basically a cutscene to enter and exit your ship. I think that might be the best of both worlds. I kind of agree that running for 15 minutes through an anaconda to get to your chair would get old really fast. But I think the argument against having ship interiors is getting conflated with whether or not you need to run through that ship to get in and out of the ship. There are other games who've been able to separate those two issues, and it works better.
I'm going to hop in and give my hot take on this one, and then we'll go down the list. So I heard that point that Art made where he's like, you don't want to run through 10 minutes. Honestly, all due respect, I think that's bullshit. I think that's weak sauce. I disagree strongly. Obsidian Ant just put up a post after that stream where he said, hey, do you want ship interiors? Like 98% of the people said, yes, I want ship interiors. To give you an example, Star Citizen is sort of a weak, half-formed. I mean, it's got some cool possibilities, but it's nowhere near a fully functional game. And the absolute best part of it is the ship interiors, and it's out-earning Frontier even in its half-finished state. Like, yes, people want ship interiors. Space nerds want to walk around on their spaceships. And the argument of, you don't want to spend 15 minutes getting into your ship if you're being shot at, is just dumb, because there's, number one, if you have a limited set piece, you can you could board your ship, even in Star Citizen, where they have full out maps, on a large, massive ship like the Caterpillar, which I own one in Star Citizen. I can get from the elevator to my cockpit seat and be ready for takeoff in 30 seconds. And that's as big as ships get at this point. So that's kind of just a straw man argument. In addition to that, you can literally put it to where from the entrance, you take the elevator up and you're right behind the cockpit. So it's 2 seconds to get in your cockpit, or you turn right and then you get to the rest of the ship. Everybody wants to walk around. Well, 98% of people want to walk around in their ship. So I think that is just a bullshit straw man argument. Now, I get the fact that they don't have that ready now, and that's okay. But like, don't accept, as a player base, do not accept that argument and let that shit go. Go to the forums, go into the chat live streams. When you talk to community managers, when you give feedback, give them the proper feedback, which is, no, we want to walk on our ships. We want that as a possibility. That doesn't mean we want 15 minutes of running around in a ship till we get into the seat. You could literally turn right, you're at your seat. Turn left is the rest of the ship. Ta-da! Fixed it. But like, don't accept that. That's bad. That's not good. Next down the list is Boss Lady B. Your thoughts on this whole thing?
All right. So I have 2 points. I kind of want to back up Roy in that I'm not too put out that we can't get on. There was a little bit of there was that moment of being like, oh, shoot, we can't get up the ramp. Now, 2 different points on this. I think that they could give us an option of having a loading point like that and getting on quickly, or going the long way through. However, I'd like to propose a third solution with a feature we just saw in that video. They have an airlock and an elevator where you walk in, it transitions you to the next space. What if we had a loading ramp and a cargo bay, and maybe each one is different for each ship, but then you go through your door and that's the transition scene where you move into the cockpit. So there are ways that they could abridge that. And then later, of course, we all want to walk around on the ship. But I know Jez has a really good point on this one, so I won't go into why it's difficult. But that's kind of my perspective. I think that I would love ship interiors. I'm okay with where it's at now, and there might be a middle ground.
I feel like your answer is sort of a variation of mine. I said, get on the ship, turn left, you're at the cockpit, turn right, you're at the ship interior. Yours was take the elevator to floor 1, you're at the ship interior, elevator to floor 2, you're at the cockpit. I think it's simpatico on this one.
You need the elevator music. Come on, Kai. This is very important.
You could get the elevator music of like tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from... Never mind. Wolf, you're next.
I really just want to walk over to the coffee machine, even if it's just in the larger cockpit. Like, I'm in a courier right now. I don't expect to get up and walk around in that. But if it's a bigger ship, let me walk around. Let me sit in a different chair and just, maybe not drive, but do something.
All right. Holden, let me just say one thing. Don't go through life pushing buttons, bro. Everybody, see, Boss Lady teased up Jez, and he's at the bottom of the list, but she teased him up. So let's skip down to Jez, and then we'll work our way back up. Go, Jez.
Yeah, I think that really to substantiate what everybody else is saying, I've been saying from feet to seat. I think I don't care about ship interiors if it's going to take a long ass time, like getting damage mod on all of the ships. Hi, Anaconda, you're the only one. But I do think having a passage is very important. Even if you don't see very much, you gotta have the passage. However, one thing that made the Fade to Black not so bad, and they could have messed this up badly, but they didn't. I'm glad to see that the elevator is not the point you get on your ship. I'm glad to see that you do get to see your ship in a hangar and walk to and from it, because they could have easily done it so different, and that is a small but appreciated redeeming point for me.
Now, just to clarify, in case anybody's like, no, I want an elevator to get on my ship. What he's talking about is he would have hated it if the elevator from the station faded you to black and then it just launched you out. It just shat you out like a, yeah. But you're still good with the idea of having a ship elevator from the hangar to your ship, yeah?
Yeah, I would like to see it as the first thing. Just get us a quick access or a quick route to that, cockpit seat. Say feet to seat. It's got to happen. Make it seamless in some way.
You're all right. All right. This is the one part of the video that broke my heart. I get it. It's hard. Programming is hard. They've done a whole lot, and there's a whole lot more coming. But they're taking away my Han Solo moment where I'm running up the ramp, shooting behind me at the bad guys coming at me. And there's a door behind every cockpit. You run up the ramp, you turn through that door, you're in your cockpit, you hop in your seat, you fly away. It would be an exciting moment of gameplay, and they're taking it away. My other question is, what do you see when I go to that fade to black to go board my ship? Do I just vanish into thin air? Because how immersion breaking is that?
Like a ninja.
Right. Now, Obsidian Ant did have a good point on one of his videos that, and I don't think I've ever looked at this in third person, but apparently in the SRV, if you board and you look at it in third person, there's a whole scene where you go up on the little ramp and it lifts you up in and such. So if they can do it somehow like that and you can see me going up a ladder or something, then that's a little better. But they're still taking away that exciting gameplay moment where I'm trying to get away from these pirates at this settlement, and I'm shooting from behind me, running up my ramp, saying, Chewie, get it started. And it's gone. It's board ship, fade to black. I'm in my cockpit. Let's go. That's sad.
That's legit. You're going to have a Mexican co-pilot? That's what's up. I know I've got two cousins that are both named Chewie, but different sizes of, never mind. And Sanderling, you're up last. Go for it.
First time for everything. I think that the whole fade to black mechanic is, well, I think it's kind of like the first time you do it, that's going to be exciting. Yeah, and oh look, I'm running through my ship, and oh look, there's the coffee machine, and there's the I don't know, in my cabin and that kind of shit, but like, and then jump into the seat and then fly the ship. Yeah, but like the 400th time you do it, it's just going to be a pain in the ass. But it's like, I just want to go, get in the ship, go. Thank you very much. So I don't know. I think on a long-term basis, I do understand the perspective that it's a disappointment for because it's about environments, isn't it? Like we all fly our ships, and now Fleet offers a different kind of environmental interaction. And when you get on the ship, that's your home, that's your ship, that's the environment that you're in. Of course, it's natural to want that. But in terms of the mechanic of transition from an external environment into your ship, I think that it would be interesting for about 5 minutes, and then it would rapidly become a source of aggravation. Thanks.
So looking at this, when they put a poll in the forums, by and large, the three things that people were asking for more than anything else was crossplay, ship interiors, and the full spectrum of atmospheric landings. When Obsidian Ant just put out a poll, 98% of the people said, yes, we want ship interiors. When I asked it of people, everyone I talked to says, yeah, of course we want ship interiors. I think we need to stay loud. We need to stay, I'm not saying, don't be a dick about it. Don't whatever, don't accost them and be rude. But say firmly and loudly and clearly with no ambiguity to every community manager, to every developer, to everyone on every stream, on every question, on every forum post. This is a thing that we want. And this is not optional. This is not a thing that we're like, maybe we want it kind of, but not really. Like we want it like a lot. We want ship interiors. And if you disagree with me, please feel free to pipe up. Anyone here not want ship interiors? Anyone? Okay. There's like, no joke, 156 people in this fucking chat channel, and not a single person stood up and said, nah, I don't want it. Like, we want this. And again, we don't have to go the Latvian route and be rude about it, but we need to be very clear and very, unambiguous in like, yeah, no, your little idea of like, yeah, who wants it really? We do. We want it really. This is like one of those, Chris Metzen moments of you think you do, but you don't. No, I think I do because I do. So yeah, let's have that, please. Roy, there was a point that you wrote, then you removed it. But I thought it was interesting. What is it that you wrote?
It's about the shipboarding issue. So in particular, this goes back to something we talked about in the past of how the balance between small and large ships plays out. And this whole thing about getting on a ship and whether you're running down a corridor or not, or taking an elevator, to me, it seemed like there's an opportunity here to make this a reason why you pick a small ship versus a large ship. I mean, to use the Star Wars analogy that Tweaked started, if you're Obi-Wan jumping into your Jedi Starfighter, that should be a hell of a lot faster than if you're, I don't know, getting sucked up into a Star Destroyer and figuring out how to take it off. It could be a reason for smaller ships being able to move quicker from a combat zone than larger ships.